Okay, so good evening, Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. We will start with the invocation by Janani Mataji. Mataji, you're there? Janani? Janani, Janani, are you there? I can't hear you. Is it the device problem again? Can you text me? Do you want to go and come in again? Jenny, are you speaking? Yeah, okay. Okay, right. Can I have Pushpa Mataji to do invocation? Janani, why you try to go and come in and see whether you can come on time for the Gita Mahatmya. Pushpa Mataji, are you able to do this sloka for us? Just the English will do.
And Mataji,
Okay.
the son of Devaki, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, and pilgrimage, or vows, as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So it's the same sloka that we will see every day. Okay, let's see, Janani is in or not. Okay, she's not in yet. Oh, Janani, you're in already.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, now I can hear you. Okay. All right. So stand by, yeah, for the next sloka. Okay, so we take blessings from Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. This is presiding deities of ISKCON Kuala Lumpur or Sri Jagannath Mandir. Okay, so before we move on, we have to offer prayers to our spiritual masters. Okay, you can also recite on the other side because the blessings from the gurus are required for everyone. Okay. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. I want everybody to recite this mantra with me. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I hope in subsequent classes, more of you can join and chant this mantra together. Okay, so we would like to take blessings also from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Okay, so now Gita Mahatmya. Every day we will recite one verse to glorify Bhagavad Gita. Janani.
The translation of Mataji. If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reaction of his past misdeeds will not act upon him.
Okay, so thank you, Mataji. All right, so we all have come from, there's a lot of firecrackers happening here. Okay, so we all have done a lot of things in the past and we are carrying our baggages of our sinful reactions from the past, a lot of misdeeds. All right, so if you continue reading Bhagavad Gita and making it as a daily habit, then we will not suffer from the reaction of past karma. This is what this verse is mentioning about. Okay, so yesterday we saw one sandwich picture. Anybody recall the sandwich? What was the sandwich about?
The division of the three part.
Yes, the division of Bhagavad Gita in three parts. Very good. So what is Bhakti? Bhakti is in the middle. Okay, what is at the top?
Karma.
What is that?
Work.
Bhakti. What is that? I want the full sentence. What is it about, the first part?
Karma Yoga.
Okay, what do we do with the Karma Yoga? So the entire Bhagavad Gita is about achieving bhakti. So the first part, which means the first chapter up to the 6th chapter, it's about achieving bhakti through
Work.
Alright, on the chat. Yes, Logeshwari Mataji?
Through knowledge.
Through work, Mataji.
Through work. Through work, yeah. Achieve bhakti through work. Work or activities. Okay, so that's karma yoga. Okay, so the middle chapters, 7 to 12.
Bhakti.
Bhakti itself. All right, the last part of Bhagavad Gita.
Knowledge.
What is knowledge?
Achieving bhakti through knowledge.
Yes. Okay, what is in Sanskrit? What is the yoga called?
Jnana Yoga.
Jnana Yoga, yes. Okay, so the first 6 chapter is describing the yoga ladder, covering Karma Yoga mainly, and how it takes us to Bhakti Yoga, which means how by practicing the process of working and acting, by working and actions, we can come to Bhakti. By working and doing some activities can give me Bhakti. Okay, so we want to know how that happens. Okay, I thought by working, we only incur karma. Can we have Bhakti through that? So this is what we are about to see. So that's in chapter 5 and chapter 3, chapter 5, and so on. Okay. The next 6 chapters will be describing the Bhakti Yoga itself. This is where Lord Krishna describes about himself and then the process of Bhakti. Or also he will be telling, if you can't, really go into Bhakti, you have the second alternative. If you can't do this, you can go for the third alternative, 4th, 5th. Like this, Krishna will be giving all these options in Bhagavad Gita as well. Okay, so that also we will learn. All right, because then you can see where you are at and what you should do, how you should move forward. Okay, so the final section is about, we will hear about knowledge, how by hearing about knowledge or cultivating this knowledge or imbibing this knowledge, we can come to Bhakti. So that is Jnana or Jnana. Okay, but eventually all the yogas are leading to Bhakti Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga is sitting at the top of the yoga ladder. Because if you want to practice so many types of yoga, you want to know what is the best yoga of this. Can I skip everything and go to that? So that also we will see. So there are 3 main processes, yeah, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is in the middle part of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. All right, so let's move on to recap. Okay, it's already 8:30. All right, so do you all remember, this is the same slide that we did at the end of the class yesterday. So do you all remember the first aspect of this chapter 1? We saw some features of Bhagavad Gita. So is there anybody that didn't attend yesterday and you are here today? So this recap could be beneficial for you also. Okay, very good. Important feature. Let's go to important features first. Tell me whatever that you remember from yesterday.
The battlefield.
The battlefield. What is the name of the battlefield?
Kurukshetra.
Battlefield of Kurukshetra. Okay, we have 700 verses. Okay, Kurukshetra, Kurukshetra. What was Kurukshetra originally?
It's a holy place.
The holy place. That is why when Dhritarashtra asked, he said Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre. Okay, pilgrimage, holy place. Okay, very good. All right. What else? What else? Any other important features of Bhagavad Gita? Did somebody say 700 verses? What else? Krishna to Arjuna. Conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Okay. What else you all can remember? Okay, conversation. Okay, I think generally you know 700 verses, the location. Oh yeah. Anybody say the timeline? 5,000 years ago. Very good, Darshini Mataji. Okay, very good. 84 verses from Arjuna. Okay, very good. How many verses by Dhritarashtra? Yes. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. Now we're gonna see the relationship between Dhritarashtra and Sanjaya. Who is Dhritarashtra? What is this, prominent quality? And who is Sanjaya? So this kind of answers you can put in the chat. Okay. Blind king. Sanjaya is a secretary. King and secretary. The blind king. Okay. Okay. What else? What else can you tell about Dhritarashtra or Sanjaya? Okay. 100 sons. All right. Duryodhana is the son. Duryodhana is the son. Can see from far. Who? Sanjaya, spiritual master Vyasadeva. Very good, Lavanya Mataji. Sanjaya. Okay. So how he got that special vision that he can see what's happening very far? A bull? Why bull, Renuka Mataji? Okay, Vyasadeva is the boon. Okay, boon, yeah, boon from Veda Vyasa. Okay, very good. Okay, no problem. Okay, because suddenly it brought me to Bhagavatam topic where there is a bull story. That one is King Parikshit. Okay, boon by Vyasa. Vyasadeva is his guru, so he got that special vision. Therefore, he can do live telecast to live commentary to Dhritarashtra. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. Okay, elder son Vyasadeva. No. It's not son of Vyasadeva. It's the disciple of Vyasadeva. Student. Okay. Vyasadeva's son is Sukadev Goswami. That one is Bhagavatam. Okay. So this happened right before the war begins. It's like, before you start, you beat the drums and everything like Bahubali, right? You gundang and all that. So here, to invoke auspiciousness, or before you do arati, or before you start a war in those days, they blow conch shell. What did we learn about conch shell yesterday? Dhritarashtra is not son of Vyasadeva. Dhritarashtra is not son of Vyasadeva. Okay, he is also not the eldest son of Vyasadeva. Okay, vessel of that entity. Okay, so what is the significance of conch shell here? Invoke auspiciousness. All right. What else? Do you all remember any of the names that we saw yesterday? Krishna Panchajanya. Very good. Yes, Panchajanya is the conch shell of Krishna. Poundra was whose one? Devadatta whose one? Bhima. Okay, maybe you can put like Bhima dash. What is this conch shell so that I know? Devadatta Arjuna. Arjuna Devadatta. Very good. Poundra Bhima. Very good. Any other things that you remember from that sloka about the conch shell? Bhima, Poundra. Yes. Anything that you remember about Bhima? Big eater. Mighty eater. Strong and mighty eater. Strong man. Yes, very good. Okay, very good. Okay, after the conch shell was blown. Okay, yes, muscular, ferocious eater. Okay, so now moving on to the next step, yeah? So after the conch shell was blown, what did Arjuna tell Krishna? Give up? Not yet. Belum lagi. Arjuna asked Krishna to bring the chariot to the middle of the battlefield. All right? So that what? Why? Why? He wants to have a sightseeing, a tour of that war place. Content, yes, to see who is the contender, to see who is present there. Why? Why everybody is there? First of all, he wants to see who has come to fight him. Second, some kind of feelings was overcoming him. This is where Tulasi Mataji answered. He started feeling afraid because he started seeing, oh my God, everybody are my family members. And then, yes, who did he see? Guru, grandfather, family members. All right, then what happened to him? Did he get angry? Did he feel enthused to fight? Started exhibiting 10 symptoms. Okay, now I want that symptoms. Please shoot all the symptoms in the chat. Okay. Mouth is drying up. Mind is reeling. Whole body trembling, shivering. Did we cover everything already? Bow slipping, tremors, hair standing, burning, mouth dry. Okay, hair standing on end. Okay, all right. What about, anybody mention about the limbs of the body? That is, limbs were trembling. Okay, yes, quivering. That's the word. All right, and he can't? What he can't? Anybody mention that? He can't? He can't stand there. Yes, he's unable to stand there. All right, did anybody say forgetting myself? Okay, Ranganayagi Mataji, correct. Mine is reeling. Anybody said that? Okay, Renuka Mataji. And what did he see? This one nobody has mentioned yet. Yes, Devendra Prabhu. Okay, he only sees causes of misfortune. Okay. All right, so that's good. We have pretty much covered everything. Yes, very good. Okay, so after he exhibit all these symptoms, right? So he wants to justify to Krishna, Krishna, I cannot fight because I have all these debate points that I have. Okay, how many he gave? I mean, how many he gave as in chapter 1 and chapter 2? 5. What is the short form for the 5? Says D, very good. And I want in full phrase. Okay, not just one word, yeah, full phrase. What is C? Compassion towards his family and friends. Oh, compassionate, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so all the symptoms that we just mentioned about, right, the 10 symptoms, this is all symptoms of him being compassionate towards those people. Okay, compassion for friends and relatives. Okay, so in today's chapter, chapter 2, Krishna will be refuting this one, the C. He will be counteracting this C that Arjuna gave. Okay, next. After C is E. What is E? No enjoyment even if he becomes victorious. Why? Wouldn't you be happy if you're victorious? Why Arjuna say he won't be happy? Why? 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 Why do you think he won't be happy? Put yourself in that situation. No one to share his happiness. Very good. So, compassionate for family and relatives. No enjoyment even if he becomes victorious. So, we are taking that E. Now, what does the S stand for? I want that full phrase. Yes, because all family. Yeah. Losing all the people he should enjoy the victory. Very good. Fear of sinful reaction. Why? Sinful because of what? Why was he worried about sinful reactions? He has Krishna with him, so why is he worried? Killing others. Killing means sinful reactions for him. Okay, very good. Okay, hold on now. Hold on. So C-E-S. Okay, then comes D. What is D? Destruction of family tradition. In what ways it will destroy the family tradition? Somebody said mother losing husband, that means the wife losing husband, children losing parents. Okay, the males are killed, so no boys to carry on tradition. Okay, the leader of family passing away. What are the repercussions? What are the impacts? Unable to conduct the tradition because man will be dead. So no people to offer Shraddha. Okay. What else? What else I mentioned yesterday? Unwanted progeny. How? What is that flow? No males to protect the women. Women are exploited, polluted. Very good. Okay, that will cause progeny, unwanted children or abortions or whatsoever. Okay, very good. Anything else? Okay, I think somebody has already mentioned the traditions are not carried out, like the yagya, the prayers and all that. Hey, very good. Thank you, everyone. So we pretty much recapped the chapter 1 already. Thank you so much for so much of cooperations. Okay, so we're moving on to chapter 2. Contents of Gita summarized. So basically in chapter 2 and chapter 3, the entire Bhagavad Gita is condensed. The Bhagavad Gita is already condensed. And chapter 2 and chapter 3 is the heaviest. Okay, and after that is more elaboration. Arjuna will ask question and Krishna will elaborate. And that is segmented into various chapters. And today's chapter is very, very important because we're going to learn about how Krishna is refuting Arjuna's first reason for not fighting, sasti. Okay, so this our Gita Gyan is going to be like a brief introduction of each chapter by talking about some points in that chapter and not all. Even in chapter 2, I may not touch all the segments. Okay, so the program is devised in such a way that we are going to touch all the elements. Okay, especially you see the last 2 verses will touch very briefly on Karma Yoga and very briefly on Bhakti Yoga. But here for today, we will be touching on Sankhya Yoga. So what is Sankhya Yoga? We will see what is the Sankhya Yoga. Okay, and this is also basically to inspire you to read more, to go back, get your own Bhagavad Gita and read more. Okay, so this chapter, second chapter, has information about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Everything is here as well. All right. So in Sanskrit, this chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means analytical study of body and soul. So there is another chapter for this chapter 2, because this chapter talks a lot about soul and body, and this is called Sankhya Yoga. Again, okay, can somebody answer me? What does Sankhya Yoga mean? What study is that?
Analytical study of body and soul.
Very good. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, other than Sankhya Yoga, we have Karma Yoga, we have Jnana Yoga, and we have Bhakti Yoga. Analytical study of body and soul. Very good. Okay, so thank you for remembering that. Okay, so these are the 5 reasons, the SSD reasons Arjuna gave for Krishna. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 covered in chapter 1 yesterday. Now, this is a very important verse that we will cover today. Now, this Arjuna's condition currently is actually representation of his selfish consciousness. Everything is about what he feels towards the war, what he feels towards the people. He end up being frustrated and is not able to come to a sound conclusion. So this is the application part of chapter 2. So you may find us also sometimes in a situation where we are not able to make a decision because you are probably attached to some people or attached to certain things, then you cannot come to a sound conclusion. So how we can apply this knowledge in our life, also we will see in this chapter, because Bhagavad Gita is not only about understanding facts and points, but also how to apply this in our daily life. Okay, so it's a way of life. Okay, so these are the 5 reasons. Compassion for friends and relatives, no enjoyment even become victorious, family traditions, fear of sinful reactions, family traditions are destroyed or stopped, and finally, indecision. Okay, so here he's continuing. Okay, Arjuna is continuing to talk about how he's being affected by this situation. So 2.6, did I assign 2.6? I think I didn't assign. Yeah. Okay, is there anybody who would like to read? I think I just added this. This is where the indecision comes. He's not able to tell what he should do. Lakshmi Mataji, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Mataji, can you read for us, please?
Okay. Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we killed the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. So this is where Arjuna started to feel perplexed. Okay. So before this, I want somebody to read for me from your Bhagavad Gita, text 4 and text 5. Is there anybody already have your Bhagavad Gita open? Or I can call name Venu Kumar Prabhu. Do you have your Bhagavad Gita with you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can you read for us text 4, please?
Yes. Arjuna said, O killer of enemies, O killer of Madhu, how can I counter-attack with arrows in a battleman like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship?
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So here Arjuna is started already pointing that these are worthy of my worship. These are great personalities in my life. How can I launch my arrows on them? Okay, Prabhu, continue with verse 5.
It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood.
Right, thank you, Prabhu. So you see here, first of all, out of respect and gratitude, he doesn't want to attack the superiors. Number two, he is willing to let go. He's willing to flee the battlefield, and he is willing to go begging. A Kshatriya's duty is to fight, not to go begging. But he doesn't care about his prestige and status, but he is very detached person. Okay, he doesn't care what people say about him, and he just wants to just move away from that, or he wants to go to some, he wants to take up renunciation or renunciate order of life, and he just wants to leave this place. He just doesn't want to have anything to do with this political thing, fighting and killing, everything doesn't want. So finally he says, no, I don't know what is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill them, then there is no point for us to live. Okay, so they are right in front of us and I don't know what to do. Okay, so when you don't know what to do, what do you do? When you're at a junction like this, what do you do when you can't decide? Can we have maybe 1 or 2 persons to share? What do you do? What do you do? Whether it's at work or it's your spiritual life, in college, seek advice and guidance of others, follow my instinct. Okay, so in this case, Arjuna is not able, his instinct is not helping. Okay, pray and meditate, pray to God. Yes, trial and error. Satu kali sudah launch arrow, sudah mati, Mataji. They cannot come back. So how? Choose easiest way, which is what, Mataji, Tulsi Mataji? So what do we do? Yes, we will feel lost. So what we do? What are we going to do about it? Speak to the loved ones. Okay, now we see what Arjuna did. Okay, Shamala Mataji, you are there?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, you'll be reading the 2.7, right? Okay, so before that, before you read the next verse, so I would like to tell you, did you notice that if you have read the Bhagavad Gita, you will notice that until now, Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra has spoken, Sanjaya has spoken, Arjuna has spoken a lot, but Krishna has not spoken. This is a quality of a good leader, that he actually listens to the subjects until they are done speaking, so he can analyze the situation and give the right direction. So from here, you also can take a point that Krishna is showing how a good leader should be. Okay, he did not rush to give him an advice. Okay, Arjuna asked him to take the chariot to the middle of the battlefield. Okay, Krishna menurut perintah. Okay, and then what happened? Arjuna saw everything and feeling rejected, and he was unwilling to fight. So basically his contemplation is, should I dutifully fight? Because my duty is Kshatriya, should I dutifully fight? And but should I risk unnecessary violence where I can just flee and go? All right, I don't want this kingdom. Should I refrain and go begging, live by begging? Okay, so victory on my side, whether it's my side or their side, it's still not certain. Okay, he has this doubt. But being victorious is also a defeat for him, because he cannot live happily after killing the relatives. So these are all his contemplation and perplexities. Now we see how Arjuna sought help. Okay, so even when you want to seek help from God, this is the mood that we need to have when we want to ask help. Okay, Mataji, Shamala Mataji.
Okay. Arpanya dosopahata swabhavaha prajami tvam dharma samudacetaha yachreya sannischitam bruhi tanme sisyasteham sadimam tvam prapanam. Translation. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me.
All right, thank you, Mataji. Very nicely sung. Okay, that's a very, it's longer than usual verses. Okay, this one has 11 syllables. Okay, Mataji, you sang very nicely. All right, so you can, we're going to stay a little while on this page because it's very important. This is the turning point of something happening. Before this, what was the relationship between Krishna and Arjuna? All the while. What was the relationship?
Friends.
Friends, okay. Friends, cousins, very good. Okay. What can you see here? What is happening here in this verse? Who can extract this information? Who can decode this verse? What is happening here? There's something happening here. There's a twist. There's a turning point here. Yes, Jaishini Mataji, very good. It is turning to master and student Ganesha Prabhu. He has surrendered. Very good. Prasanna Mataji, correct. Okay, so now the point here is that from friends, the relationship is turning into guru and disciple. Why? He says, I don't know what to do. Please tell me what is best. So when you give that the rights for somebody to instruct you, you are taking that person as a guru. I am your disciple and a soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. Shishyaste. Shishyas means disciple. Shadi mam, instruct me. Okay, so this is how the relationship is changing. Okay, so now back to the perplexities that Arjuna has. He got bewildered. He's intelligent person. Okay, no doubt about it. But Krishna created such a situation where Arjuna has got bewildered. And he tried to understand, bewildered in the process of trying to understand about implementing of dharma. Okay, he knows there's a dharma to be re-established, but he's confused because he felt compassion for people in front of him. All right, so how many of you have been in a situation whereby you have your principles to live by, but you have certain people there you feel compassionate, therefore you compromise the principles that you have? Have you been in that kind of situation? I can share one story with you. Like, sometimes it's not about, for example, you pinjam money to somebody. So it's not about sometimes the amount of the money. It could be just 5 ringgit you want to, for example, I give you an example. You lend this 5 ringgit to somebody who promised, oh, tomorrow I'll definitely pay you back. Then tomorrow the person didn't pay you back. Okay, you're a millionaire. That 5 ringgit is totally not very significant for you. Life goes on for you. However, do you or do you not insist to get back the money? You will probably take the money and put in one undial, or you will put it for donation. But the principle here is that when a person promised to repay you, they have to pay you back. So this is not about the amount of the money. This is about the principle. So we are living by principles. Okay, so another example that I can tell you is, this is a real life story, Yeah, somebody has something to say? Honor the promise. Very good. Yes. So, okay, like this is an example that happened in somebody's workplace, a person who, I know this person. Okay, so he does auditing of the income in a hotel. So what happens is that the manager that he's very close to, he detected that they are taking out money from the account. But because he's an accounts auditor, he decided to close one eye and let it go, because anyway, the other superiors, okay, so no problem, even if they know. But what happened is that external auditor came and that fraud was detected, and this resulted not only in penalizing that person who plundered that money, but also this person who allowed it to happen. So indirectly, this person has what do you call it, indirectly involved because he did not report it. Okay, his duty is to do his job. If there is something wrong, he has to report it. But because he was so compassionate towards him, when I asked the person, why did you let happen? No, because he's got children. He's struggling with his finance. So compassion, but what happens? Duty is duty. Dharma is dharma. You have to do your duty. Whatever happens to him because of that, that's his reaction. Okay, in no way that we are responsible for it. So this is just a couple of examples that I can give you. So this is where you apply. So whenever you are in a situation that loved ones or principal, you have to make a decision. You can't make a decision. You have to get a guru or guidance to find a solution. Okay, right? So it's very difficult sometimes to go by instinct, isn't it? All right. Now the problem is, okay, you know how we do a science experiment. First, you have to identify your problem. Now the problem is Arjuna find that because he has this miserly weakness, which means he's got a weakness towards the relationship with the people that he loved. All right, because he's attached to their bodily aspect. All right, because he feels that when he kills them, he's going to hurt them, and the body will be destroyed, and there will be no more there. All right, so this is the cause of his confusion as to what he should do. However, the advantage of Arjuna here in the situation is that he's intelligent enough to seek the right help. Okay, even though he was confused about his duty, should he fight or should he not fight? Okay, he already has a lot of good fortune next to him because Lord Krishna himself is there. Of course, I have mentioned to you about the chariot, the flag where Hanuman was there, and who gave him the quiver and who gave him the chariot. Okay, so all this to the advantage of Arjuna, yet he had confusion. Okay, so he turned to Krishna and asked for advice. Okay, so this is the turning point where the relationship between Krishna and Arjuna turns to guru and disciple. Okay, so to answer this, okay, so this miserly weakness, I hope you have noticed this caption here. This miserly weakness is because of his attachment to the body. Okay, now, so this is where Krishna will be answering, and this is the integral, it is very crucial part of this chapter 2. Okay, I want to hear a few of you, or you can put in the chat, what do you think about soul? What is a soul to you? I hope I can finish the class in half an hour. What is a soul? Anything that you know about soul, you can say the soul shape is this, the soul color is this, the soul size is this, or is some of its qualities or characteristics or features, or anything that you know about soul. Soul is energy, cannot be destroyed, cannot be seen. Okay. What else? Okay, you all have some points there. Cannot be destroyed. Very good. Soul doesn't die. It is eternal, transcendental, Atman. Very small. Okay, we will see how small is that. Yeah, we know the soul is small. We will see how small is that. He has no shape, size. It is indefinite. Emotional, immortal. Soul is energy. Okay, nice. Very good. So we will address some of these qualities later. Okay, so I have this one picture. That is a beautiful parrot in a beautiful, expensive cage. Migrate until enlightenment. Very good, Bravo. Okay, so there is an owner here. He's taking care of the parrot. Transfer from one medium to another. Yes, so we will see all this today. Very interesting topic today. Okay. All right, and this information is based on Bhagavad Gita given directly by Krishna. Okay. So what happens here is that this person taking care of the bird very diligently. How? He wipes the cage, he polished the cage, he dusts the cage, everything so beautifully, he takes care of the cage. All right, what else? After 1 week, something happened. What do you think happened? Do you remember the information that I just gave? After when he continued doing whatever I said he was doing, what happens after a few days or 1 week? Cage broke? No, he's okay. Again, I'm telling you, this person taking care of the cage very nicely, polishing, washing, dusting. Okay, so what happens after a few days? Parrot died. Why? Never take care of parrot, not taking care of the parrot. He's only taking care of the cage, no food. Very good. The cage remains clean, but he did not take care of the parrot. He did not feed the parrot, did not give food. He neglected the parrot. Okay. Similarly, now application. Similarly, in the same way, if we take care only of the body, but we neglect the needs of the soul, then our life is not successful. Therefore, as much as this vessel is important, okay, we also need to take care of our soul. Okay, we're spending so much of time and energy and money taking care of our hair, our skin, our appearances, our clothing. But oftentimes we neglect the need of the soul. All right, so the soul is the most important part in the body. Because when you go for a funeral, you start saying, ayo, poitane, like that. But he's there. He's just there. So what has gone? What has gone? The body is there. What has gone then? Soul is gone. So the beautiful body, got any use after that? No use. So the one that takes you, the soul, to the next body, to the next body, to the next level, to the next level, is whatever you have lived, and the impression that you have left on the soul and the subtle body is what moves on. Okay, this beautiful vessel will not follow you. Okay, so this is why this chapter, the knowledge of this chapter is very important about soul. Okay, so this is where Krishna starts telling Arjuna about soul. Let's have 2.13 is Jaishini Mataji. Thank you for responses, everyone. So far, doing so good. Jai Mataji, are you there?
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go forward.
Yes.
As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change.
Thank you, Mataji. So,
Thank you.
if you compare your baby photo, your primary school photo, your secondary school photo, university photo, and now today's photo, are you looking the same? Anybody looking the same right from the moment you were born? No, but your name has changed. Your bodily features have changed. You should change your name also. Does that happen? Does that work? No. Why? The soul in this body itself is going through a lot of changes. The body is going through a lot of changes. The soul is remaining there. So you are forever Jay. You are forever Prasanna. You're forever Lakshmi. Okay. So just because your features have changed, you do not change your name. So similarly, even though your sizes and shapes and everything change, the soul still remain. Okay, so the soul remains the same in this body. At one point that the body cannot go on, it's distracted, the soul jumps to another vessel. Okay, so what is the second point here in this verse? The first point is about the transition in the body. Okay, we are not going into another body yet. This verse is still talking about the same body. So when the soul goes to another body, what is the second point here in this verse? What does it say? What does it say? This is a very important point to address Arjuna's reason, C. Who can decode this? It's actually the answer is this right there. So knowing this, it doesn't age. Yeah. Pass into another, okay? So knowing this knowledge, okay, no. Okay, so we have the knowledge that soul doesn't age, it still remains the same. After we die, or when the body is destroyed, it jumps to another body. So knowing this, what should be our mood towards it? Very good, Ram Prabhu, you are getting the point. Very good, Janani. You are not killing the soul. Very good. You are not killing the soul. Therefore, it should not affect us. Yes, this is the point here. Ganesha Prabhu, from where you got this answer? Which part of the sloka? Knowing this, the person does not affected by the change. Yes, Prasanna Mataji, that is the line. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Yes, we are to remain sober. Philosophically, this is what Krishna is telling. Okay, so he is telling Arjuna, if you have this knowledge, then you will remain sober, that you are not killing their soul, you are just destroying their body. So you can ask, oh, destroying the body, isn't that bad also? Okay, so this one we will see later, why it's not that bad. Okay, a sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Very good. Okay, this is an important point, and this is Sankhya Yoga, difference between body and soul. Changing bodies is natural, it's a natural process. So again, I want to recap this. So tell me, from what hood to what hood to what hood? Who can tell me? Who can recall that verse? How does, yes, boyhood to youthhood, and then old age, after that, death, and then what happens? After that, what happens? Rebirth, the soul gets a new body. Okay, so this addresses the compassion point of Arjuna. Okay, all right, so this proof, okay, this is the application, yeah. Now, this verse proves that there is no cause of lamentation for Arjuna, because Bhishma and Drona will get what? What Bhishma and Drona will get? There are two rewards for them in this war. When they die in this war, they get two things. One is very closely related to the topic we just did. What do you think? When they die, what do they get? No. Look at my yellow caption here. Okay, go heaven. Okay, we will hold that answer. Yes, new body. They will get fresh body. Okay, and then dying in war is also a dharma. Okay, so being noble, they have very good quality. It's just that they ended up in the wrong side. Okay, they have been very noble. Otherwise, why Dronacharya we have to teach Arjuna, knowing that he knows Arjuna will kill him? So he's being very noble, and that is why Dronacharya's son didn't like him. Why did you teach somebody you know who will kill you? So he's been very noble. So they had very good qualities. Okay, so because of that, when they perish in that battlefield, they will get spiritual bodies or heavenly bodies, which means they will be reborn in a more elevated position. Okay, so this one we will also elaborate in coming chapters. Okay, later on chapters, how when they die they go to elevated planets, or if they have done bad they'll go to the lower planet. So all this Krishna will tell also. Okay, so two things here, they will get fresh bodies, or they will go to heavenly planets or spiritual planets, and either way the elevation is guaranteed. Okay, now I have a question here. How big is your wardrobe? Let me ask. Who Who is ready to answer a question that I'm going to ask? Dasaratan Prabhu, can I ask a question for you? Okay, Ram Prabhu, can I ask a question? Oh, takut, is it? Kritika Mataji, can I ask you a question? Everybody's scared, is it? Okay, so the question is, how big is your wardrobe at home? Like how many saris we'll have? 50, 100? How many suits we have? Ram Prabhu, how many suits you have in your wardrobe? Or how many shirts? Or how many ties? Roughly. Ram Prabhu, I can't hear you. Are you speaking? Yeah. All right, so every day we are changing at least 3 sets of clothes, right? Morning, we go to work. Probably evening, you come back, you change, you want to go out and come back again for dinner. And then third, you will change to pajamas and you go to sleep. So at least in one day, you are changing minimum 3 clothes. And this is just for our body. And this wardrobe is just our gross body. Now, we also said earlier that the soul is changing body. So do you know how many bodies the soul can change? The body also, the soul also have, yeah, can't hear you, Prabhu. Maybe you have to go out and come in like Janani Mataji just now. It's okay, Prabhu. All right. So the soul is also changing the body, just like we change clothes. 2.22, Puganis Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul similarly accept new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones.
Okay, thank you. So you can see here the person is changing clothes here. Suddenly he's wearing this, another moment he's changing to a leather jacket. Okay, so this is how we change our clothes. So similarly, the soul also will change clothes. And the analogy that Krishna gives is that the soul changes body just like we change clothes. All right. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, the soul also take up new ones and giving up the old and useless one. Okay, change of body is compared to change of dress. This is called transmigration. Okay, so we have had many bodies in the past, not necessarily only human. We have been plants, aquatics, animals. Okay, so we take up new bodies and give up all body all the time, and this is based on our karmic reactions. Animals do not have karma reactions. They are on autopilot mode. They are on evolution. Okay, but humans, because we have intelligence, we have the free will that we can also make choices, and this is why we are bound by this karmic reactions, and thus we are given the body that we deserve. Okay, now I want to talk about the position of the soul. Any idea where the soul is? So after this, we are going to talk about characteristics of soul from this point onward. Where is the soul located? Close to the heart? Yes. It's in the region of the heart. This is why when people do transplant of the heart, you don't change identity. A lot of people think the soul is in the heart. No. You see, heart is an organ, material organ. It also perish one day. So the soul is not located in the heart, or the soul is not a part of the heart or anything like that. It's in the region of the heart. So where this information is, it is in scripture called Mundaka Upanishad. Okay, so Mundaka Upanishad. Remember, a lot of the science and this knowledge is in Upanishads. Okay, so some essence only are given in Bhagavad Gita here and there. Okay, so it is situated in the region of the heart. Okay, so remember the analogy here about body changing dress. So similarly, soul will change bodies. Okay. Now, earlier we saw how big is our wardrobe, right? So how big is the soul's wardrobe? On the side around region of heart. I have to read Mundaka Upanishad, Prabhu. But this is what it's mentioned. It's situated in the region of the heart. How big is the soul's wardrobe? Which means I am asking a question, how many species of lives that we can transmigrate through? How many? That is a number. No. It's in million actually. Million. So give me numbers in million. 8 million, very close. Yes, so we can look at the range of what? 8 million. One hair strand that is close to the size of the soul. Okay, 7 million is dropped already. It's around 8 million. Lavanya Mataji is the closest. So this verse is in Padma Purana. Okay, 8.4. Yes, in Padma Purana it is mentioned Jalaja Nava Lakshani, 900,000 species of aquatics. Okay, so you can add on as I say it. Okay, Stavara Laksha Vimsati. Stavara means plants. So there are 2 million. Next, Krimayo Rudra Sankyaka, which means there are 1.1 million species of insects, worms, reptiles. Next is Pakshinam Dasa Lakshanam. Pakshina means birds. Dasa Lakshanam, 1 million. Next is Trimsa Lakshani Pasavaha, 3 million species of beast. Finally, Chatur Lakshani Manusha. What is Manusha? Yes. Chatur Lakshani, 400,000 species of humans. Yes, Manusya. Not 4 species, yeah, not 4,000 species or not 400. 400,000 species of humans. So we are here after passing don't know how many hundred thousands of human species. Of course, sometimes you can just fast forward based on your reactions. But generally, this is mentioned in Padma Purana, there are 400,000 species of humans. Okay. Again, 900,000 species living in the water. 2 million plants, they are non-moving, and we don't know how many hundreds of years they will be there non-moving. This is the most pitiful situation. You know, it's very difficult for a certain plant to die, right? They can live for 1,000 or 100 years, trees and plants. And then we have insect, reptiles, birds, and then beasts, and then finally human species. Okay, some of these species may exist on this planet, may not exist on other planets, and some species can exist on other planets, may not exist on our planet. So in any case, in the entire universe and even in the sun, there are living entities. We cannot think, oh, the sun is too hot, there cannot be any living entities there. Can, okay. For example, the ants might think my entire world is this size only. But then there are human beings that is so much more bigger than them. So like that, we cannot limit our knowledge just by our sense perceptions. Okay. So does it mean each soul reside in all these entities before reaching moksha? Okay, like I mentioned earlier, it may not be necessary that the soul go through all the species. It really depends on the evolution process, the karmic reactions of the human being. Okay, so sometimes you come from the lower species of animals, you become human, and because you have now utilized the human life, then you drop back to animal. Okay, even if you're an animal, let's say you are being killed or butchered for meat, then you have to repeat that life. So the person who has cause that premature death is actually incurring sin because you're causing the animal to take birth again to complete its process. Okay, right? So we are actually interrupting the process by killing that way. Okay, so moving on, cannot dwell too much on this. All right, some more interesting facts about the soul is coming up. We have, okay, we need somebody to read all these three slokas. Anybody available? Lavanya Mataji, do you have Bhagavad Gita with you? If not, I will call the next person. Siva Ranjani Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Lavanya Mataji, sorry Mataji. Do you have Bhagavad Gita with you?
Yes, I have, Mataji.
Okay, 2.23, 2.4, and 2.5.
Okay, do you want me to read the sloka as well?
Just the translation.
Just the translation.
Yes.
Okay. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon, nor burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. This individual soul is unbreakable and insoluble, and can be neither burned nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body.
Right, thank you, Mataji. So there are more slokas about the qualities or characteristics of the soul. So you can see that Arjuna was actually worried that he will be killing the people. So Krishna is telling him, you are only destroying the body, which means they were getting new body, and you're not doing any harm to the soul because the soul will go on. Why the soul will go on? Because your arrows cannot kill him. Okay, it is not destructible by any kind of weapon. Those, the Mahabharata war is the biggest war ever, and all this the explosives that they were used during that age is being discussed even now. So there were lots of bombs and explosives, Brahmastra all involved during that time. So which means none of them can actually affect the soul. Okay, so this is what Krishna is saying here. The wind, the water, the hammer, the drying, all this cannot affect the soul. Also, he says that the soul is invisible, which means it is not able to be conceived through material eyes. You can't even use the most powerful microscopic lens. You can't view it. Okay, why? Because that is how tiny the soul is. So in a scripture called Sweta Svatara Upanishad, it is mentioned that if you take the upper portion of your hair, okay, the tiniest portion of the hair, the end of your hair, you divide that into 100 parts, and one part of it, you further divide that into another 100 parts. And that one part is the measurement of the dimension of the spirit soul. Okay, so this is the size of the soul mentioned in Sweta Svatara Upanishad. Okay, so you have learned the nature of the soul. You have learned what does the soul do. You have learned the location of the soul. You have learned the features and the characteristic of the soul. You have also learned the size of the soul. Okay, so all is talking about the eternity and the immortality of the soul. Okay. You can try Googling, Prabhu. I have tried in the past. It's very difficult to get these Upanishads. But one Upanishad is available in our temple. It's called Ishopanishad. You can get that Upanishad, Ishopanishad. The other Upanishads I have roughly read to understand more on the senses for chapter 13. So I can see some information are there. Generally, you have to Google, Prabhu. Yeah, you can try that. So far, I have not seen hard copy, but you can try. Maybe they are, but I have not searched extensively. Okay, so yes, this is the size and characteristics of the soul. Now, the proof, this is the proof of the soul transmigrate. So there are a lot of proofs in modern age. There are a lot of books and articles and interview articles, video interviews available to prove that few things. Near-death experience is called NDE, out-of-body experience called OBE, and reincarnations. Near-death experience and out-of-body experience usually happens in hospitals, right? You know, sometimes when you are, when people on the operational bed or whatsoever, they can actually see their own body from outside. So I'm sure you have heard all this. So this is the evidence that there is something that can go out of the body and can see us. Okay, so that's one. Number two, how and that's near-death experience, and then reincarnation. We have proofs like this girl. Okay, she is Shukla. What happened was that one day she started. She got some memories of her past life, and she started bugging the parents that I have a house in this certain village. I have my husband. I have my children. I have hidden some money in the underground of this house. Please take me there. Please take me there. You know, she was bugging like that. And then the family all had meeting. Have you been to this place? How can she tell a village that you all have not been to? Then they say, no, we don't know this place. We never been out of this village. So there is no way that she knows that such place exists. So because long story short, they actually decided to take her to that particular place. And when she saw her, you know, the person who has been a husband in her past life, she can actually call his name. She can actually call the son's name, and she can actually find where the money that she hidden. When she went in as if she knows that the house. So the parents all were like so surprised. Hey, how come she knows where to go into the house and which direction she should go to? She actually took out that box, and there's no money actually, but the box was there. It was hidden there. All right. She was just 5, little more than 5. Okay, so this is the story I cut really short to show the proof of reincarnation, which means the soul transmigrate. And it doesn't always happen that people can remember their past, but it happens. Okay, very rare situation, it happens. Okay, and there was in level 2, there was another story that the girl actually remembered that she died in a fire. Yeah, so she also remembered that. Okay, so 2.47, the next one. Maya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So the first lesson in this yoga is to understand that I am not the body, but a soul. Now, the next thing that Krishna is telling Arjuna is that, Arjuna, please don't think that you are doing everything. Okay, and don't be very attached to what you are going to do. You are going to do this because I instructed you to. This is required for you to do. So you do not get attached to the results that you're going to get. Okay, so you need to carry out your prescribed duty. Your Satriya means you have to fight. You're a teacher means you have to teach. You're a student means you have to study. This is your prescribed duty. Okay, but you're not entitled to the fruits of action because you're going to do it out of your duty. This is what is given to you and you have to carry it out. All right, and you should not consider that you are the doer. You are the doer because you are doing it. You are just being an instrument to carry out that particular duty. You have a qualification to fight and to take part in the battle, okay? And you are able to do that, but the fruits are not yours. You need to surrender the fruit, okay? And also don't be attached to not doing your duty. There can be one person who is very attached to the duty and also attached to the fruits. And then, no, Krishna said, I should not be attached to the fruits. Therefore, I am not going to do that. Because if I do this, then I'm going to get karma. I'm going to get reaction. So therefore, I'm going to abstain myself from not doing anything. That is also considered sinful. By not doing your duty is also sinful. So basically what Krishna is telling Arjuna is, you are not going to incur sin by doing their duty. But you will, instead of that, you will incur sin by not doing your duty. You all understand what I'm saying? Okay, so you can say, I have right to do my duty. Yes, you have the right to do your duty, but here Krishna is saying you are not entitled to the fruits. You need to surrender the fruit. Okay, so that is the consciousness that we need to have. We have to tweak our consciousness to in a way that we are supposed to do our duty, but we are not attached ourselves to the fruit. So that attachment we have to stop. We have to be detached. This is what Krishna is telling. So first was the knowledge about the soul. Now he's talking about duty and the fruits and the detachment. So do things in detached manner. This will be elaborated in chapter 3 and chapter 5. And this is what we call karma yoga. Okay? This is called karma yoga, doing duty without attachment, or doing your work or carrying out actions in detached manner. Okay, why? Because we see a lot of people are attached to enjoying the results of their fruit. They take credit for themselves. Okay, but those who are serious in practicing yoga, you need to have detachment. If you have learned Ashtanga yoga, the first two ladder is yama and niyama, the do's and the don'ts. And then only the asana, the meditation, all that will come. This is the very basic thing. So this all start with karma yoga. Okay, a person may not be a spiritual, a person may not be religious, but if he's doing things and he's not attached to his fruit of the action, or he's very charitable, so he's actually doing karma yoga. So anybody can do that. All right, so basically Krishna wants Arjuna to fight in this battle, and there is a good reason for this. Okay, so he's being told to fight. Don't consider yourself to be the doer. Do it with the sense, out of the sense of prescribed duty. Then you will not get any reactions. Okay, so this is karma yoga very briefly, because we will explain this further in chapter 3 and chapter 5. And then we have 2.49. This is roughly touching on bhakti yoga. Vasugi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dorinahi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhao saranam anvicha krapana pala hetavaha. O Dhananjaya, keep all abdominal activities far distance by devotional service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is saying, other than devotional services, all other activities are abominable. Okay, so he's telling, stay away from all these abominable activities and remain situated in devotional service, in bhakti. Because other than these devotional practices, which does not give you reactions, whether it's a good or bad, engagement in devotional services will not give you any reaction. It's a zero reaction. Generally, when you do good things, you get good karma. Generally, you want good karma. Okay, so you do a lot of good things, charity, and this and that. And then some people, when they engage in bad things, they get bad reactions. Okay, but when you do devotional activity, this also Krishna will explain later in chapter 3, that by doing devotional service, you do not get reactions. So this is why he's saying that avoid abominable activities by engaging in devotional service. That way, you will be free from reactions. Thus, you will be free from the constant repeated cycle of birth and death. Okay, so if you do devotional service, you won't get any sinful reactions. Okay, this is also called buddhi yoga. Okay, buddhi yoga, bhakti yoga is generally the same. Buddhi yoga means the yoga of the intelligence. So it's very thin line between buddhi yoga and bhakti yoga. So Krishna wants Arjuna to surrender in that consciousness. Okay, it all boils down to the attitude and the mentality that we have while we do our duties, whether we are doing for our sense gratification. And if you do that, then we are going to get reaction. And almost everything that you do in this world have reaction. Even if you are sitting, you're saying, Mataji, I'm not doing anything, I'm just sitting. But you don't know how many insects you're crushing under your feet when you're sitting, or how many insects are going in and dying and coming out. You don't know. All right. So everything has reactions. Only thing that doesn't have reaction, according to Krishna, is devotional service. Okay. So, and this also makes us different from animal in a way that the similar activities between an animal and human being is that we eat, they also eat. We mate, they also mate. We defend ourselves, they also defend. And we sleep, they sleep. The only difference between us and them is what? What is the difference? We are doing similar activities, but what is the difference? This one we'll cover extensively in level 3. But generally, what do you think? What's the difference? Thoughts. I mean, when we are touching these 4 activities. Okay, how do we apply that in these 4 activities? What makes us different from them? Sleeping. Let's take example, sleeping. What are we doing differently from animals? Okay. Critical thinking, you know, there are lots of tests on chimpanzees. They can actually be smarter than humans, you know. What else? Dogs can think, eagle can think. Sometimes they're better than us. They have better senses than us. So how? Are they better than us? Are we same like them? To differentiate good and bad? Well, I would say the dogs knows who's thief and who's not. Conscious mind. You know, when a cat comes to your house, right? So let's say you have a plate of milk there. Okay, you prepare milk for a wild cat to come, and then the cat comes in. So you are standing there near the plate of the milk. Will he come and take the milk, or he will wait for you to go? Wait to go. Why? Because he's thinking. Yes or no? Yeah. So yes, devotion, serve to God. All right. Discrimination. Yeah, animals also can discriminate. Inquisitive. Animals also can be inquisitive. The monkeys, for example. Right. The difference is that we are all doing the 4 things like that, but it's just that we are doing it in a polished manner. We are, if we do not have the spiritual inquisitive, spiritual queries or spiritual question like, who am I? Who is God? Why am I here? Where am I going? Why am I suffering? We are we are nothing more than polished animal. We are also animals. We are just polished. Okay, if the animals are using claws and teeth to eat, we are using fork and spoon. If they are sleeping on the street, we are sleeping on nice mattress. If we are defending with their claws and everything, we are defending with nuclear guns and bombs. Yeah. Okay, so if they are mating on the street, we are hotels and houses. That's the difference. So the difference here is that the consciousness is different. Okay, so this human life is different from animals. Okay, so we have the intelligence to ask, who am I? So that question is answered in this chapter. We are the soul. Why am I here? Because of our reactions. Where can I go? That probably at the end of the 18 days, you'll be able to reflect and make changes or be better. All right, so it depends how you apply this knowledge. Okay, so I think the last sloka is 2.65. Ramanathan Prabhu.
Yes. Prasade sarva dukkanam hanir asyo pajayate. Prasanna chetaso hyasu buddhe paryavatistate. For one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So I need to speed up because we already overshot. I try to keep it short. It's really difficult because this chapter 2 is very, very
important. Okay, so it mentioned here that the one who is satisfied in Krishna consciousness, threefold miseries will not affect him. So what are these threefold misery? Is this miseries can be caused by three things. Wherever you go, any miseries that you see, it all boils down to these three things. Adi Daivika means miseries that is caused by material nature, like too hot, too cold, earthquake, heavy rain, flood, landslide. So these are all the miseries caused by material nature. Adhyatmika means miseries caused by our own body and mind. We inflict injuries on ourselves. We destroy our mental peace by engaging in certain things. We spoil our own peace, committing suicide, getting into trouble. So these are all adhyatmika. Okay. All right. So even the very rich person also will not find this life is perfect, and then they get overdosage of drugs, and then they die, commit suicide, things like that. We have celebrities like that. So money is not everything. Okay. Finally, we have Adi Bautika, miseries caused by other living entities. So recently we had great time, very, very bad time caused by other living entity that it actually paralyzed us for a couple of years. What living entity is that? Which living entity affected us? Yes, bad COVID virus. Yeah, virus living entity, isn't it? So it is caused by other living entity, Adi Bautika. So we are troubled by other living entities, bugs, mosquitoes. Okay, where you're passing on the road, suddenly a dog comes and barks and bites. So this is all Adi Bautika. Okay, first, misery caused by mind and body. Second, misery is caused by natural catastrophe. Okay. Third is caused by own living, other living beings. Sorry. Okay. Okay, I will skip this recap because it's really late. I will keep this for recap tomorrow, or I will share this slide in the group. So please try to refresh this when you have time tomorrow. Okay, and there is also the story which I think I will also have to push it to tomorrow. Okay, the story of Ambarish Maharaj. Okay, we will continue this tomorrow. So I would like to end the class by 3 times chanting this Maha Mantra. Sorry for the delay. Okay, so let's chant together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Ram.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much. So we are having Bhagavad Gita kit here, one book, this Damodara picture. This is from previous batches, 2 small books and chanting beads and chanting bag. But they are working on the cost because now the cost has increased. So we are just waiting for the update. And this is a certificate that you will get at the end of your 18 days. This is the location of the temple. So you can see the map here. In 2 weeks' time, we are going to celebrate a very nice festival. It's Lord Nrsimha's festival and Lord Nrsimha's appearance day. So for that, the eve and on the festival day, we will skip because on the eve, I have service in the temple. And on the festival day, of course, we will have to join the festival. So we don't have class for that 2 days. All right, so that's it. Thank you so much for staying. 20 minutes extra. Okay, so we will continue what I missed. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you, Ram Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the quiz, Mataji. They haven't come back yet. Hare Krishna.